Hey second graders, it's Mr. Hafler here. Today we're going to color a map of the world. Specifically, it is a map of the 7 continents and the 5 oceans. Now, before we do it, you're going to need to get yourself a few crayons. I would like you to get yourself a green. It can be any shade of green. Purple. It can be any shade of purple. Yellow. Again, it can be any shade. Orange. It can be any shade of orange. Gray. It can be any shade of gray. Pink. You can choose any pink you want. Red. It can also be any red. And blue. Okay? The shade doesn't really matter as long as it's similar to the color that I ask you to use on the continent. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you where to color and which color to use on each continent, and then I would like you to color that same color. Okay? We're going to start with North America. I'm going to color North America green. I'm just going to do this for you so you know that you need to color it green. But North America has some different parts that are hard to tell from the map, so I'm going to just point those out as well. This is Greenland over here. Greenland is part of North America. Now this right here, this area, is actually called Central America, but it is part of North America, and it stops where that line is. These islands in the Caribbean and the Atlantic, these are also part of North America, so they should be green as well. We live on North America, and we live in New Jersey, which is right about there. Okay? So first, North America, it's green, and North America is the third largest continent. Now, the map isn't always accurate with the sizes of the continents because North America looks like one of the biggest. It is, but it's actually the third biggest. The next continent we're going to color is South America. South America is going to be purple. Now, South America also has some islands around it that are hard to see here. They're not actually on this map, but they do exist. But South America is a pretty self-explanatory continent to color right now. The next continent I'm going to ask you to color is Europe. I'm going to have you color Europe with red. Now, Europe is one that I just need to go over and show you some parts of as well where the coloring should end. This black line here, that actually shows you the border between Europe and Asia. Okay? Those are lakes there, or seas. They're large bodies of water, but they can be blue. But I just wanted to show you where Europe ends. Europe has some larger islands that get included with it as well. And I want to make sure that you color these islands in red too. Okay, so the rest of the land here is going to be all red. The next continent that we're going to color is Africa. Africa is the second largest continent, and even though it looks a little bit small here, it really is number 2. So Africa is going to be yellow. Africa ends right there. And as you can see where these lines are, that shows where we separate it from water. And this island right here, that's the country of Madagascar. That's part of Africa too. So Africa is going to be yellow. Asia is going to be orange. Asia is the largest continent and also has the most people. Asia is a hard one because there are lots of borders that we have to go around for Asia. And I just want to show you where Asia begins and ends. So right here is all part of Asia. Okay? This is all Asia. And most of these islands down here are as well. Okay? So those are all part of Asia. The next continent that I'm going to ask you to color is Australia. You can color Australia in pink. Now, Australia is in a part of the world that we also can refer to as Oceania. Oceania is the name that you see on this map. Now, these islands surrounding Australia, we're also going to color pink because they're part of Oceania. Okay? The last continent we're going to color is Antarctica, which is down here. Antarctica is going to be gray. So this is all Antarctica. Now, the last part that has to be colored is the 5 oceans found around the world: Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Southern, and Arctic. You can color all the oceans blue. I'm just going to go over the names of the oceans so you know that they're blue. Then in between some of the land that you see, you're also going to have blue. For instance, this is the Mediterranean Sea down here, and that should be blue. Then there are some different bodies of water within Asia and Europe. That should be blue. It's just hard to see if you don't know what all the continents look like. Okay? And then over here in North America, there's also a lot of blue that goes in between all these islands to separate them from one another and from the mainland part of the continent. Okay? Otherwise, though, you're doing blue for all the water, all the oceans, and any other water that you might see on this map. Okay? Happy coloring!